We need to get a brunch. I want to get Liddy Cat, but I want to get Liddy Cat on
Let's
Mox,
do it.
and you get the real cock.
Okay, I'll get a babysitter. I'm always getting that real cock.
Isn't it-
It just is such a good feeling. I love fall.
Right.
It's my favorite time of the year. I'm sorry that it's a little rough for you, though.
Well, hey, you know, I gotta live like you, like appreciate, like I'm back in the seasons. Like I should be excited.
You haven't cycled through all the seasons yet with this breakup.
Yeah.
Because this was a serious relationship that you were in. And
Right.
I'm like, oh, it's been 7 months. Like, he's good, but you really haven't cycled through the seasons.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You are so right. Like
Listeria can.
it can take up to 10 weeks for some people to develop symptoms.
What?
Yes.
No.
10 weeks.
Oh, that's terrifying. You were just being a little bit of a fake asshole.
Do you think I subconsciously did it to like fuck with you?
Yeah.
Why did I do what I did? And then I realized
No, I'm definitely top 2.
my grandfather is like 91 and he was like, he saw a pool of blood when she fell.
Oh my gosh. I'm not here to control you or tell you how to be or how
You
to
treat
like
me
handle
like your husband
situations.
sometimes.
It's
but-
not my business, like what you do. But I just felt a little bit betrayed in a weird way yesterday.
Yes.
It was a Mormon girl. And
Wow.
she told me that she did dabble with it in like college or whatever. Like,
Party?
alcohol and weed and caffeine,
Okay.
like kind of rebelled from the Mormon lifestyle.
So she saw what it was like.
Saw what it was like, and she said nothing was better than when she stopped all of it because she felt like she was her old self again. You know, when you're like a kid and you just don't need any of that stuff. She just felt happy and like herself as she was when she was a child. I have ways to keep myself safe. I don't need to like disclose that here.
Yeah,
but,
you know, self-defense.
Well,
Cheers to keeping yourself safe.
hey there, it's Kelly Mizgorski.
And this is Ryan Frankowski. And this is Ryan Frankowski.
Yeah. So today, what do you have? So I remember last time you had bubbles. This was on like episode 1 or 2.
Yes.
And
yes.
it exploded everywhere.
I know. And we had a nice little time. That was when we were getting a little messy talking about the breakup. And
Oh my
now we
gosh.
are 7 months in.
Oh my gosh, I think we need an update on the breakup.
Oh my God, I'm wearing my Penn State gear here. You know, I graduated from Penn State, blah, 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 blah. You know, me talking about it. But it is fall and I'm really missing watching football. Are you okay?
Oh, I just, I'm gonna. A part of the cork was in the wine.
Oh my God.
And I just wasn't expecting it.
Did you eat a bit of that cork?
That was, it felt like a hard rock. So I was like, what is this? Did glass break?
Oh no, that's not good. You don't want to cut yourself. You've been having a little bit of a week, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's been busy. I think me too. I have like these clients that are, you know, just really busy. They're trying to jump on something. The hard part about like this market right now is the interest rates are, everybody's waiting for them to just like tank or even, I don't know.
Right, but
tank.
once the interest rates go down, it's going to be a more competitive market. Prices could go up. So I don't really
Yeah.
think that there's
I know you got to jump
any-
on something right now for
Yeah,
a deal.
right.
And you notice stuff that is like priced right or priced slightly lower, they're getting multiple offers.
Right.
And then stuff that's priced a little bit too high is just sitting.
See if we found the perfect place right now. You know, we are looking for land.
I know.
Right now we live in a neighborhood and we want at least 5 acres, and we would definitely pounce because, you know, the interest rates, they do suck, but you can refinance when they go down.
Yes, and I know that this is not a real estate podcast, but we both are passionate about it.
We
you know,
are,
I'm
yeah.
a new realtor, but working in like, you know, property management. You come from a real estate family.
I
Grandma
sure do.
Trudy and Grandpap were
It's
realtors.
something I always thought I would do. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I'm going to convince you to.
One of these days I will. Mark my word.
Well, you know, it's so funny. I was in this training program for like 2 weeks as like, you know, a new agent, and there's a lot of people that know your cousin.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows my cousin, Matt McKenna.
You know, we gave him a little bit of shit on the pod with Katie, but she was hilarious. The designer, Katie McKenna, she was cracking me up. I mean, she's definitely bold, beautiful, and, you know, not afraid to say what's on her mind.
No, it's one of my favorite episodes thus far.
Yes.
It's a very good message. I'll say I didn't really do much talking in that episode.
Oh, shit. You were making me feel like I was like Mr. What?
You know what happened? It was such a good episode, and everything she was saying was so interesting that I was just like absorbing it and eating it up. And it's like, and then you kind of turned into Andy Cohen and just
trying to like take your.
So I just kind of sat back and enjoyed.
I know. And listen,
hey,
you look fabulous.
Let's open up that bottle.
Let's open it up. We got the Zeved. I cannot pronounce shit.
Do you want me to try?
Yes, please pronounce it for me.
The Ins Zvi Zero. I don't know. It's really weird font. I'm not gonna lie. So
we did this last time and we could not figure it out for the life
so this
of
is
us.
A sparkling Riesling, and it's
non-alcoholic,
alcohol removed white wine. Last time you had something like this, it did explode. That was when you were going through like a crazy breakup.
Yes.
And now 7 months later, you're doing really well.
I am. There are these moments like when I talk about like, you know, wearing the Penn State gear, like I would always watch football in the fall with this ex.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, we liked our football for the fall.
So you liked watching college football?
Yeah, I mean, maybe for like, you know, the hotties on the field, but I think
I cannot get on board with the college football. It's like I'll watch the Steelers, I'm gonna watch the NFL, but I just cannot. You can't
get into it. You know, some people like it better because there's not so many penalties and these like politics that are involved with the professional teams like the Steelers, NFL. But, you know, when they watch the college football, they feel like the game moves faster and like, you know, the players are just like a little bit more like on equal level playing field, if you will, because they're in their 20s.
I hear ya. Yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
Or maybe they're not like the best of the best. They're still like, you know, you're watching like a real game. Like you really don't know. Like sometimes with these older teams or these teams like the Browns or the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, like they've never really been that good.
Yeah.
So you're always kind of aware like who's the underdog and who's the better team with the professionals.
Right.
But with the college teams, like I think it's a little bit more exciting because you really don't know. Like these students are going in and out of school and they're all in their 20s. They're in the best shape of their lives. They should be playing at like, you know, top tier. But I think it's just this time of year, it's a little sad because that was our thing. And like the leaves, like it's getting a little chilly.
The leaves are turning. It's starting to feel like fall. I hear ya. I've been like getting those fall vibes. I step outside. I've been like sleeping with the windows open at night because it's dropping down like into the 50s, high 50s and 60s, and it just is such a good feeling. I love fall.
Right.
It's my favorite time of the year. I'm sorry that it's a little rough for you though.
Well, hey, you know, I gotta live like you, like appreciate, like I'm back in the seasons. Like I should be excited.
You haven't cycled through all the seasons yet with this breakup.
Yeah.
Because this was a serious relationship that you were in. And I'm like, oh, it's been 7 months. Like, he's good, but you really haven't cycled through the seasons.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You are so right. Like, I'm like, why am I feeling a certain way? Like, I know I've been hanging out with couples nonstop.
Is that kind of annoying? Like, as a single man?
You know what? I don't think it's as hard as a man as it would be my girlfriends that are single. I think it's harder for them because they really like maybe want the relationship. As a single guy, you're kind of like, hey, like, you know, I can hang out with couples, like no big deal, as long as they're not like being like all lovey-dovey and like all over each other. Because I think of you and Ryan, like you've been together for 10 years, and even my brother and his wife, it's like you guys aren't like all over each other, but newly into couples, like new people that are dating, I think that would be annoying if I'm hanging out with a bunch of people that are newly dating.
Yeah, just like too much PDA. I know you're not supposed to say it when you're tired, but I'm tired today, so I'm trying to perk up.
We got to perk you up. You want a little bit of you need to try the bubbles.
Yeah.
Or is it not good to mix?
No, I can mix it. Go ahead, put a little in there.
It is from the Zero Proof, which is a company that's, I actually heard him on a podcast. He was with the owner of the meatball shop. I don't know if you ever went to the meatball shop when you visited me in New York.
No. Oh, no, I didn't get a chance to.
Okay. Well, yeah, we
were too hungover, I think.
I know. We were always brunching and doing the bottomless mimosas. Yeah.
Okay, seriously? You could give this to people at a party.
And they wouldn't even know.
And you could see who gets the placebo effect because this tastes legit.
I know. I could totally get like toasted on this.
That's good. That's very good. A+.
Yep, it is 20 calories. We don't really care about the calories per serving, but this is the thing. 4 grams of sugar. That's perfect.
That's great.
4 grams of sugar per serving. That is an A+.
You know what? It doesn't taste too sugary. I hate that sugar aftertaste that you get when you have too much sugar. It's like disgusting. I can't do it anymore. I guess it's because I'm like in my 30s now, but
my grandma recently fell and she's 88. It's a little bit scary, but like, you know, she wasn't drinking. Normally she likes to have a couple cocktails, you know, on a weekend or a couple beers. But, you know, we are just so grateful that she is doing better. I think it's scary. And like, you know, you even telling me about like what you had gone through with like your grandma. It's like, it is just like you have to just jump and be able to kind of, you know, go see them at like wherever they are and like spend as much time as possible because that's really scary. I mean, my grandfather is like 91 and he was like, he saw a pool of blood when she fell.
Oh my gosh.
So she cut herself and she has stitches on her eye. She's 88 and luckily she's doing like 100% better. I mean, she does have bruising and she jokes about it. She's like, well, I'm ready for Halloween.
Oh,
like,
I love her. Yeah. I'm glad that she doesn't have any like brain injuries from the fall.
No.
That's really scary that like there was blood, but luckily it's just because she cut her face. And I know you did show me a picture and it's hard to see her like that, but I know she's going to make a good recovery. And it really makes you realize that you need to just soak up every moment you can with them.
And we talked about this. I was like, I thank God that there was an important part of moving home was to spend as much time as I can with my grandparents. Not only my parents, I mean, like they're youngish, but it's like you as well. Like you get to have that relationship with your children get to have the relationship with their grandparents now that you've moved home.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. But I guess if you're like really destined to live in like, I don't know, a certain part, like I could see people wanting to be out west with the mountains and the skiing. And
my gosh, yes. No judgment at all. I mean, it was just a non-negotiable thing whenever we had children. I needed them to be around their grandparents. They have all of them here still.
And it's not just for the free babysitting, right?
Well, it's absolutely, that's a big part of it. But, you know, I want to raise family-oriented children.
Yeah. So you got mad at me about something yesterday. And I was like, shit. Like, I get it because my best friend, so like I consider, you know, within the top 5 besties.
No, I'm definitely top 2.
I know you are. Okay, so anyways, I will say the one other friend, and there is no comparison, male, female, whatever, my male best friend, he called me out one time when I did something that I was like, shit, I guess I didn't even think of it. I don't know why, but and it was a similar experience to what you and me had just gone through yesterday.
I do apologize. Like, I'm not here to control you or tell you how to be or how to like handle situations. You treat me like your husband
sometimes. Like you're supposed to try to control me too. You love that control.
I guess so, but I realize that it's wrong, and I do apologize.
Your work husband.
It's not my business, like what you do, but I just felt a little bit betrayed in a weird way yesterday.
Well, you are sensitive. And I think what I'm learning now, and you could even talk to somebody else, I am really insensitive.
Oh, you are.
Like 100%. Like I don't like
but
that about my.
But that doesn't bother me. Like, and I'm not as sensitive as you think I am or say I am. Like, I can be though. You were just being a little bit of a fake asshole to somebody.
Do you think I subconsciously did it to like fuck with you?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Shit. Okay. All right. I mean, part of me was like trying to dissect it. I'm like, why did I do what I did? And then I realized, like, I did try to describe it in a really professional message to you this morning.
Was that ChatGPT?
Yes, it was.
Did I answer? I was like,
You
I'm
were
not responding to this
like,
bullshit. It's ChatGPT. And I know that you put in like your thoughts and then the ChatGPT like.
So you knew that it was way too professional.
I knew. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So then you called me and I was like, okay, now I can talk to the real Ryan that's not like a robot.
Oh, fuck. I hate this because it's so addicting. Like, I never really, like, I got the app like months ago. And then now working in real estate, I'm like, oh, wow, it makes my job so much more efficient if I like put all like the thoughts and even our podcast descriptions. Yeah. It's so easy to just implement like, hey, because we're not the best with like.
Let's cut to the chase because I think people are curious. I have an enemy. Yes. And you kind of were like a little too cool with them.
Yes.
So I got a little upset.
This is good to talk about.
I'm just going to say right now, I just felt a little betrayed. If someone is my enemy and you're going to be all fake nice to them, then I feel that you're betraying me. Am I out of line? Comment below if I'm out of line.
So, yes, I actually agree with you when you say it like that. I didn't even think of it as an enemy because I guess, yeah, you're right. Because they came up to me.
Yeah. Did you cut this?
I don't think like that? So.
No? Okay. All right.
Does it look like it?
It just looks like maybe you did a little cut. It looks good. Was it like that before?
No, I definitely didn't cut.
It looks good. Look at this hair. You've got like Farrah Fawcett hair.
You think?
Is that her name? Farrah Fawcett? Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just like whenever I actually wash it finally.
It's like this beautiful waves. Have you heard about the boar's head meat thing?
What happened?
There's been several recalls over the past couple months. And basically a facility, was it in Virginia? I think it was their facility in Virginia.
Yeah.
Is there a way you could pull it up?
I'm going to see.
They found like it was bugs and mold and all sorts of health violations at the facility. 7 people have died.
What?
From eating boar's head meat.
7 people?
7 people have died.
And they've confirmed it?
It's confirmed, and many more hospitalized.
Oh my God.
If we can pull up an article, we should.
Yeah.
This needs to be talked about, because I'm like, I was already weird about lunch meat. Like, I really don't do lunch meat. Like, it doesn't look like a piece of meat, right? Like,
right.
It's like there's nothing on an animal that looks like that piece of meat.
There's nitrates in it, and it's got
and
way
nitrates
too many.
cause cancer.
Well, and I do think to myself, like, growing up with Nancy and Stan Frankowski, it was all about lunch meat. And I'm sure a lot of those people from that generation are grandparents.
Oh, I grew up eating lunch meat every day.
You did?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's like what my mom packed for me to eat at school.
I know, and it's weird to think about like that causing all these health problems.
Yeah, I mean, I do steer clear for the most part. Did you find it?
Yes, article? It says that a boar's head liverwurst sample tested positive for the outbreak strain of Listeria. I am like so embarrassed when I try to pronounce things, but anyways,
I support you for trying. Like, thank you for trying.
I know, and there's no
Don't
shame.
Be embarrassed. Yeah, no, everyone loves it.
You know, I'm just not as bright as the next.
You have your strengths and you have your weaknesses just like everyone else does. So yeah, Listeria and
Listeria in the testing last month in Maryland Health Department, prompting the expanded recall. 18 states where the 57 cases in the last outbreak took place, including Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, New Jersey, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, Pennsylvania. The first case was reported on May 29th of 2024.
Oh, man.
And the last occurred on August 16th.
Yeah. Wow.
Some people are suing Boar's Head.
That's many months. I mean, they had plenty of time to get their shit together.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
Even when it was refrigerated, it can last up to 10 weeks.
Listeria can.
It can take up to 10 weeks for some people to develop symptoms.
What?
Yes,
No.
10 weeks up to.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I know. Bacteria contaminates many foods, third leading cause of death from foodborne illness in the U.S. Each year, an estimated of 1,600 Americans are infected with Listeria and 260 die from it.
Whoa.
That's crazy to think about, but I guess 260 in the United States
that's why when you're pregnant, they say don't eat like lunch meat, don't eat soft cheeses. These are all things that can be infected with it.
Yeah.
You don't always, I guess not everybody gets sick from it.
Right. So
but
sometimes
like when you're pregnant, you have a weakened immune system.
Pregnant and 65 and over.
Yeah, and probably little kids too. But oh my gosh, disgusting, right?
Yeah. I mean, what are we gonna do? Just kind of steer clear from boar's head?
I would not do boar's head again. There's no way they can make that right. People have died.
Yeah.
And
they're such a popular
brand. Was in May. And it's happening again in August. They had time to rectify that.
I know, but you know what? I think it takes 10 weeks. So they tried. And then,
it could their equipment.
Yes.
Maybe they're not cleaning, though, like properly.
That's kind of scary.
It's just gross.
Anyways, this is fucking good. I want to go to Bottomless Brunch with you and have this sparkling Riesling.
Well, let's do it. Where
seriously,
can we go in Pittsburgh that has like a good brunch?
We need to get a brunch. I want to get Liddy Cat, but I want to get Liddy Cat on Mox.
Do it.
And you get the real cock.
Okay, I'll get a babysitter.
Yes.
I'm always getting that real cock, baby.
Oh, which kind are you talking about?
Oh, cocktail.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's true. You don't do the Mox as much as I do.
No.
But do you think that you'll switch over eventually? Am I going to convince you?
It's hard to say. With this upcoming thing that I'm hoping happens in my life, this life change, this event, I could see myself cutting back significantly because I'd be busy.
I know you'd be busy doing some projects or busy working and, being
I have a lot of projects.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
Yeah, we'll just say that. So I could definitely, because, okay, listen, I have painted at least 3 houses now.
Oh my God, entire homes.
Like entire interior homes that I lived in.
Yes.
And that was unpaid. I've painted other houses too. Like I painted your family home.
I know.
And
the bathroom, my bedroom.
Listen, there was one time I'm like, I hate painting. I don't want to do this, but I need to get it done. So I opened up a bottle of wine because I'm like, oh, this will make it more interesting.
Was it?
I spilled paint everywhere. It was messy. It was sloppy. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that was a bad idea. Like, I had a mess to clean up. I'm like, it was so much more stressful.
I know.
And so, no, I am not doing that. If I have like projects.
Yeah. You're going to be so busy with projects, like, working with me on interior design jobs.
Right.
And like, I just think I know what it's like because I remember I like had hit like a joint whenever I was on a job and I was like on a construction site and like one of the contractors was like, hey, do you want to hit? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
What?
I have very low tolerance and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a little bit nervous. Like, I'm like kind of moving like this. Like,
oh my God.
I think it's just some of us don't have the tolerance to be like, working. We
did want to talk about that. So we did want to talk about like weed, right?
Yes. And the tea break. A lot of people are now having to take a tolerance break because through the pandemic and like, now everybody, it's a little bit more accessible, recreational, in Ohio, recreational marijuana THC use is legal.
Yeah. Well, and I want to say that
which is kind of crazy.
Pot can really make you paranoid.
Yes, and I know a lot of people that say that. Like, they're like, I don't do it because it makes me paranoid. I never understood that, but then if I look back when I first tried it, it did make me paranoid as fuck.
Let's talk about some of our experiences, because I've had a 50-50 split.
You had some good times and some weird times.
So my best time was laying on a picnic table, just looking up at the stars, thinking about outer space. That was the best time I ever had.
Yeah.
On when I like smoked weed.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I've had other experiences where I'm like seeing things that aren't there. Like maybe it was laced with something. I don't know. Like
No
there was
shit.
one time I was a passenger in a car and every mailbox I thought was like a person about to step into the road. And I'm like just totally paranoid. And then like the light, even the like red lights, green lights, they're like 200 meters away, but they look like they're like 50 meters away. And I'm like, oh my God, like stop the
You're
car.
freaking
like,
out.
You're gonna go through the light. You're gonna blow the light. And then like
blow the light.
There was another time I smoked like chronic out of a gravity bong, and people were actually like out of the corner of my eye. It looked like they were rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I look and they're not. And it's like, what is going on? But the music, there was like
that
music
makes
playing
the music super
with like
intense.
bass. And I was like, oh, fuck, it was like shitty music. And I'm like, this is the best music I ever heard. So like, it's just interesting.
Yeah. So you've had some more paranoid, scary experiences than you've
and
had
then just
good.
when you smoke and your feet sometimes feel like there's cinder blocks attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had that happen?
I think so one time. I think it
One
was
time for me
indica.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me hear some of your experiences.
Me and the ex would take them every so often, like these really intense edible indica. So it was just like so goofy and laughy, and then you'd like fall asleep, and then you would feel like drowsy the next day if you didn't get like 10 hours.
I have actually experienced that where I'm like really drowsy and it takes me like hours to wake up kind of and feel like I have energy again.
It
Like
just like
coffee
really
doesn't work.
calms.
You cannot.
Oh yeah.
You can't plow through it with coffee.
No, like, and when I would plow through it with coffee, it would take me like probably 3 times the amount of caffeine to like
and
perk
then
up.
you end up having like heart palpitations because it's like, oh shit, I had too much coffee now.
I know.
So
I kind of think, if anything, I think it might be better than like being an alkie, because I think in some ways, like, you know, the alcohol can destroy your liver, and like with the weed,
think
it's like
both are bad. I think both are bad.
If you talk to doctors, they would agree. Like,
I mean, look at the Mormons and their lifestyle. They actually don't even do caffeine because caffeine's a drug.
I know. And you know what? I did take a week off recently of caffeine. It felt amazing. I mean,
did you get a headache?
So I didn't get a headache. I think it was, I don't know what it felt like the first day. It was like kind of a weird feeling of like, I'm fully awake, but I'm like having these little like, I needed to find a reason to like have coffee. Like I was looking for a reason, or I was looking to go to the shop, like just to get out of the office, or like I was like, my brain was like, what?
I talked to someone and they were like, I gave up coffee, I gave up alcohol, like no weed, no nothing. They don't do anything that's considered a drug.
Who the hell is this?
It was a Mormon girl, and
Wow.
she told me that you know, she did dabble with it in like college or whatever, and
She
then
dabbled with
like alcohol
partying?
and weed and caffeine,
Okay.
like kind of rebelled from the Mormon lifestyle.
So she saw what it was like.
Saw what it was like, and then she said nothing was better than when she stopped all of it, because she felt like she was her old self again. Like it's like, you know, when you're like a kid and you just don't need any of that stuff. Like it's like she felt it was just ridiculous to like need that stuff, or like she just felt like happy and like herself as she was when she was a child. And I'm like, that's really appealing.
Do you know what? It's so funny you say that. I feel like when I was taking the caffeine out for a week and I was in the office, I felt like the goofiest version of myself, because I just like, I don't know, like being sober, it's like people will all be like, wait, what? Like, did you have a problem? Like, and I was like, well, like low key, I had a problem, but I don't think I had a problem compared to like the masses. So in some weird way, I was like, I felt like a child too. Like I was kind of like playing these games, like laughing, goofing off, pretending, like just being fun.
That's the thing. I get like, when I've taken pauses from like alcohol and things like that, I get like a little weird, like really, really goofy, to the point where it's like, I'm kind of immature and I don't know if people can tolerate me. Like, truly, I don't know.
You probably do like to fuck around with people.
Oh, I love to fuck around and find out. People go, oh, fuck around and find out. I will.
Yeah, you will.
I'll do it.
Yeah, she will. She will fuck around with me and find out.
So I was at the park with my kids the other day, and I was just like chilling, and I look over and there's this like dude over by like the baseball fields by himself, just like standing there by himself, and he has like this long hair, and I saw him reach his hand down his pants and like scratch his asshole.
Ew.
And then I saw him, he ran his fingers through his hair, then he smelled it, and then he licked his fingers. I almost called the cops.
I can't believe this. Like, you're fucking bullshitting
I swear to God.
See, you always see the craziest shit. Like, I don't know
how I saw it. Like, I don't even know how this happened. I'm like, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Ew. And I remember you telling your father-in-law this story, and I was like, wait, is she serious? Or are you fucking with us?
I was serious. I'm 100%
serious. So describe it in detail again.
So he reaches his hands down his, like, the back of his pants.
This is just some random at a park, man. An old man?
No, he was like
40-ish? 30? Okay.
Maybe a couple years older.
Okay.
Long brown hair, like down to here.
Okay.
Dressed kind of like, gothic style. Like a goth. And he reaches hands down his pants, like scratched in his crack. He ran his fingers through his hair. I thought he was done right there. I'm like, okay, that's gross, but like, he's done. He's done with this. And I'm just always scanning because
you have kids.
I have kids, and I've been in situations where I've almost been trafficked before, and I will talk about that. I will talk about that. He runs his fingers through his hair. He sniffs his fingers. Then he licked it like this. This is a really fast lick. And I'm like, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
That makes me a little sick.
I kind of felt sick too.
Well, I mean, I think to myself, I'm like, I would probably like be really loud and just be like, because you were outside.
But you don't want to draw attention to yourself when you're a mom alone with 2 kids.
That's true.
Because you're helpless then. I mean, I have ways to keep myself safe, which I don't need to like disclose that here.
Yeah,
but,
self-defense.
Well.
Cheers to keeping yourself safe.
So when I was in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure I was almost sex trafficked.
So wonder why you think sex traffic and not your baby.
Well, I would say both.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
I was at a gas station in Mississippi, and it was also a truck stop. And I saw a man like looking at me when I was pumping my gas. He didn't know I was convoying with my husband. So we were actually moving back home at the time.
Convoy.
Yeah, like convoy, is that what you call it?
I've
like
never heard that.
Yeah, when it's like 2 car, you go somewhere together, like 2 cars. Taking separate cars. That was disgusting. Say excuse me.
Excuse me.
Good little boy. Okay.
Scusi.
So anyways.
Mi scusi.
This is serious, and I want to raise awareness. You always have to have your head on a swivel, and it's more prominent in the South, this trafficking and stuff.
I thought it was also common in like the West.
Probably. I just know it's prominent in the South from living there.
Yeah.
And
that would make sense.
There's a lot of people that go missing, So anyways.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's sad. And
it's
they're never found.
Scary to think about.
They're never found. A lot of kids. Well,
like even Elizabeth Smart, that story.
Oh my gosh.
2 years missing. They thought she was dead probably.
Yeah.
And she was technically trafficked, but you almost got trafficked.
I was fueling up my car, and this man was like standing. He was standing outside of the gas station, and I kind of like saw him. I saw him staring at me. We made direct eye contact, and then I pulled around and I like parked in a parking spot because my husband. We had talked on the phone like before we. Went to the gas station. He said, I'm going to run in and like grab a couple things. And I'm like, cool. So I'll just like park here and wait for you. So I parked there and waited. This guy walks across the parking lot and he's standing behind my car. So like I wouldn't be able to back up. He's like just standing right behind my car, my Jeep.
Is he staring inside your car?
No, he has his back to me and he's on the phone.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I think that what he wanted me to do was maybe like get out and say, excuse me. But instead.
Was it dark?
It actually was not dark out. No.
Okay.
It was was like 6 a.m. or something like that. It was
Well,
early in the morning.
early,
It was not
yeah.
dark though. So anyways, he's standing there. He won't move. And then finally my husband comes out and he pulls his truck next to me. And because I called him, I said, I'm a little scared. Like, this is kind of weird. And so he pulls his truck next to me, and the guy, he did leave as soon as he noticed we were together.
Oh my
He just walked across to like the truck stop.
That's creepy.
It was very creepy, and it's not the first thing that's happened. When I was a kid, I was followed as well, and I had to hide in a Hallmark store in the back room. Like,
what?
that's another story. I was
Holy
selling Girl Scout
shit.
cookies. I was selling Girl Scout cookies.
That's scary.
I know. So I'm just saying, like,
Oh my
I'm
god.
never too cautious. I'm never too cautious.
You know, so
That's
it's
why
funny.
my head was on a swivel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what? Whenever I hear these stories, I remember my friend Pooja talking about certain things that she's experienced,
Pooja.
like you.
Yeah.
And I was always like, oh, kind of like laughed it off, like, ha.
You
ha,
cannot
ha.
laugh it off. It's real.
But she's like, Franco, Ryan, you don't know what it's like to be a female.
You don't.
And what you're describing is terrifying. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I think in some weird way, like my dad would always say when I was in New York or even LA, he's like, you keeping 2 eyes in the back of your head? You keeping your head on a swivel? He's always super like, not nervous, but reminding me. And I think there was that part of me that was like in the back of my head.
Yeah.
I always remembered him, my dad saying that. And so there was a part of me that was like, I wouldn't walk around in New York City with headphones on as much because I would be like, okay, I just got to be able to know your surroundings, you know?
Yeah. City life is stressful. It can be.
Yeah, I know. You guys are inspiring me to look in like just getting some land or maybe even maybe going out to the suburbs.
You're going to build a tiny house with us, right?
Yeah, you're going to like be able to put me on your land, maybe lease a little piece of it.
I think so. We have 3 minutes. If we had some questions.
I know. I mean, we got to check it right now.
Some people texted us, I believe. So let's see what we got.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to pull it up here. So my grandmother walked in on me and was asking me if I was straight or gay. She assumed that I was gay and was confused why I was fingering my girlfriend. Unfortunately, my grandma was a little disappointed because she said, I really was hoping that you would be my only gay grandson or something. And then it just goes like, feel free to call me at this number. Hope to hear you guys soon on the pod.
Okay, so they might want to come on the pod?
That's so weird.
Okay, so they basically have lived a life where the grandma thought he was gay and he's possibly not, or maybe bisexual.
It sounds like the grandma was disappointed
that he wasn't gay.
That he wasn't gay.
Well, I mean, that's pretty disturbing to walk in on your grandson fingering some girl. Like, that's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. And so he's just like, how do I discuss this, like, with my grandma and, like, convince her? Like, I guess that he said he was just like, that's really uncomfortable to even have the discussion.
I mean, she already saw some things that she didn't bargain to see.
Yeah.
I would just have the discussion, you know.
Yeah.
See what she has to say.
Well, and it sounds like if your grandma's like at the house and you're doing that kind of stuff, it sounds like it's like a younger person, like maybe like a Gen Zer. And apparently like the new generation is like, they're doing mocktails, they're fluid, everybody's bisexual, you know. I think if you were growing up in today's world, you definitely would have like had a girl or two here and there.
Anyways, I think we're out of time now. We appreciate you listening to the full episode. If you aren't subscribed yet, please subscribe because 70% of our listeners are not subscribed. And if you subscribe, even leave a comment, that'll help our channel out.
Yes, and we will be able to continue doing what we love is, you know, sharing some messy stories on Mocktails or Messy. This is Ryan Frankowski and
Kelly Mizgorski.
Hopefully you have a good evening.
Signing out.
Or morning.
Ooh, yeah.
Or lunchtime.
We don't know when you're listening, but thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. Meow. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.